want to first start off by saying a very, very simple happy, 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 happy Christmas. Easter. Did I say Christmas? What the hell's going on? Today, I'm telling you, my brain, there is something weird. I can't read anything. I can't process anything. Something. I think I've got a worm. Easter. Easter. Buona Pasqua. Easter. Easter. And I want to say one thing about that. Very, very simple. Maybe this is personal. This is just me. I want everybody to say Easter, and I want the entire world to understand Easter and the Christian, the rudimentary celebration of Easter, like we have to everybody else's. That's all I'm saying. I know people are going to take this the wrong way. Love all religions. I love all religions, but I've got to accept everything from whether it's Ramadan or this or Pesach. That's great, wonderful. And then there's there's Kwanzaa and this and that, and I fine. God bless you, wonderful. But when it comes to Easter and Christian, and specifically Catholic, no. We're doing things differently now. That's all. I don't want any special recognition for this. It's this kind of oh yeah, Easter. No. I cannot tell you how ecumenical I have been in terms of representing or acknowledging everybody's faith. But all my life I've seen this, and especially to the Catholics. And whether you or anybody else are Catholic yourself or actively one or whatever, I don't want to get into that. You know what I'm saying is true. There's this open season. There's this open season on Catholics. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I hope you had a great day today with your family. Hope you remember what it is. And that's it. I'm not going to lecture you. But I have, I just believe in parity. And if you want to say Christ is risen, if you want to say Christ is king, if you want to say whatever it is, you say it. And other people will have to accept it the way I have to accept their faith. And I say, oh, very nice. That's it. Enough of my lecturing. Anyway, welcome. My friends, I hope you are getting what I'm seeing every single day. This case is blowing up. And I want to keep saying this, like, Erica, I don't even know you, but I'm starting to feel sorry for you. You're an idiot. Does anybody, you're an idiot. Every time you can't say your name. You can't say your name without somebody breaking apart what you're saying in some 12-piece. I saw something last night which is very interesting. Very, very good. I happened to be scrolling about, doing my thing, and I ran to and do some I like to do some shout outs. A very, very interesting. Christine Fekete, Fekete, did her first live, and it was splendid. She is a most excellent addition to the family, La Familia. And also, I'll tell you who's very good. Wolves in Finance. Oh my God. I love this dude. He has this. I'm not gonna pretend to imitate it, but it's this kind of a snippy. It's great. And he says, many people believe that the items that Erika Kirk bought are irrelevant. Well, I don't think they're irrelevant. Here's why. My God, he breaks it down into that thing, and fantastic. And there's another one I want to tell you who is very, very good too. And she is really good. Daily Fredo. It's like Fredo almost. Freddo. Tremendous. Great. Absolutely painstaking. He said, I love this. This is like the lawyer in me. This is like the best cross-examination. This is incredible. And I'm writing all, they're wonderful. I have never felt, what do I say? I have never seen or been a part of something where I thought, my God, they are so, so good. And the level of, how do I say this? The level of analysis is through the roof. It's not just some comments. It's wild. I mean, wild, absolutely wild. It is tremendous, tremendous. So I want you to understand something. I was trying to, let me see if I can put this. I've been doing this a while, okay? And there were those of us who were maybe involved, maybe in the 9/11 group, or maybe the part of that whole, remember that COVID thing, which we don't want to talk about anymore. And there was that, maybe there was the Epstein. Don't want to talk about that. People were kind of, I don't know what it was. There wasn't this sense of, we're all in this, together, brother. Remember the great Cam Fong as Chin Ho on Hawaii Five-0. We're all in this together, brother. He had this weird brother. What's his brother business? In any event, nobody really was, everybody kind of like all for one. Oh, there's Kim Cannon. Kim says, Happy Easter, Grandpa Lionel. I love that grandpa. You have no idea. Oh, Christine Feckerty said I reminded her of her grandfather. Let me tell you something. We had in my Sicilian group, we had the nanno. We had nanno. Now then they say no and all this stuff, but the Sicilian is a different story. So I appreciate that tremendously. You have no idea, because grandpas it's just nothing but love. It's nothing but love. You say, wow, that's great. So anyway, thank you for that. And if I can provide some kind of wisdom to you, even better, because you youngins need some help. I can help you. But what I love about this is like this little family. Have you noticed this? We are family. I got all my sisters with me. I think Sister Sledge said it best. Everybody's in this. First, there's Mama Candace, and then there's Brother Barron and Brother, I don't want to say Mama, I don't want to, but you know what I mean. So it's great. I hope this Neff and the other one, these people keep it up. Because I got news for you. I love this shit. I love it. Something's it's like there's no end to it. Every time she opens her mouth, we say, oh my God. Look who it is. It's Rose Kiesel. God blessing you, your family, and all in the chat. Happy Easter. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And we're right. We want justice for Charlie. I'll tell you, this is a wonderful thing. It's very weird. It's very, very, I got to tell you something. I don't ever talk about things like faith and all, because I always think to myself, I think people sound, not all, but some sound very, very, very sort of, there was one Bible passage that says, keep it to yourself, sort of thing. Don't extol it. Separate, honor it. Anyway, make a long story short. But I've always been very, 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 very protective of especially things involving Christianity and the difference between Protestantism and Catholicism. Not to get into it, but I love the fascination of religion. Love it. And the best time, what I love about this, and when I tell people is that why Easter is so important, whether you know the rules or not, this is it. It's not Christmas. It's not Christmas. It's this. It's a resurrection. But anyway, enough about that. But it's the only time when people say, here's to you, thoughts to you, to your family, good, happy, good. I'm not talking about me, to you and your family. Happy Easter, happy. I love that stuff. I love it. And I see little kids, and look, they let them enjoy the eggs and all that stuff. It's just cute, and bunnies and this. And do we need more holidays? Because we walk around, let's face it, these are not fun times. But let's go back to what we're saying. I did a video today. Hope you see it. And so help me God, I don't want to say I told you so on this one. I don't want to say I told you so. I don't want to say I told you so. I don't want to be right. I want to be so wrong. Really, I want to be really wrong on this one. Big time wrong. But I'm telling you right now, I don't have anything for this kid, Tyler Robinson. I don't have any love for, I don't know who he is. There were these people who they come along and you realize, wait a minute, this isn't right. There's something about their case. This is not justice. He's a patsy. He's a deflection. It's beyond obvious. And I'm saying, do you see what's happening here? Haven't you been around in history? Don't you remember Lee Harvey Oswald? Don't you remember? This is the oldest thing in the book. You pick some schmuck, you pick that guy, and then next thing you know, something happens to him, and oh, well, there goes the case. Let's move on. Because let me tell you something. If this thing, and I want to say this again, if this thing really gets going, and if Tyler's lawyers say, I'm going to call Erika Kirk. Why? You don't think she's relevant? You don't think the wife, unless you get some kind of a protective order, you don't think the wife of your supposed victim is helpful when you're saying, I don't know who this person is. Oh, no, you can't touch your wife. Well, no. She's the wife. Wait a minute. Why? I want to talk to her. I don't know. Help me. Wouldn't you, if you were innocent, okay, wouldn't you say, I'm calling everybody. I had nothing against him. Listen, I may not have liked him, but I didn't want to do this. I didn't do this. Can you imagine that? And they're going to fight like, man, you can't talk to her. We want a protective order. Why? This guy's on trial for his life, and you want to keep away. Well, what do you want to talk to her about? Well, let me find out. I'm going to take depositions. I'm going to find out if you know anything. I need to investigate my case. And I think you might know something. Don't you? Ho, ho. Can you imagine her on the stand? If it got to that point, if it went beyond the deposition. Oh, my God. Let me tell you how stupid this woman is. And let me tell you something. Was this Caroline Leavitt? I don't know if Caroline Leavitt knew what she was doing. I don't think Caroline Leavitt gives, frankly, any concern about anybody but President Trump and Caroline Leavitt. I don't think she has any connection to Erica. I really don't. But they sit down and you think somebody was saying, now listen, why you're doing this, why you're doing this, I have no idea. But do me a favor. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Do you hear what I'm saying? Talk about the mission. Talk about God. Talk about Jesus. Talk about helping kids and students and whatever the hell it is. What is, does anybody know what the purpose of TPUSA is? I shit you not. I'm not kidding. Tell me anybody know what it is? Let's look right here. Just here. Just curious. What is the purpose or the goal of TPUSA? I have not, because all I know is it's about Erica. The organization said its mission is to identify, educate, train, and organize students to promote the principles of freedom, free markets, and limited government. What about freedom, free markets, and limited government? TPUSA has 850 campuses. For conservative politics and values among the high school. What is, here we go. What is Turning Point USA? It's a by the way, they always call this right wing. To identify, educate, train, and organize students to promote the principles of freedom, free markets, and limited government. Okay, all right. Now let me ask you something. Seriously, I feel like a fool. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? I didn't know that. Did you? There he is. There's Raul. Raulito. Did you know that was the purpose behind it? I thought it was what's this about God and Jesus staying home? And I didn't know this. I didn't know this. Okay, I don't think anybody's going to hold her to it. And I would say to Erica, do me a favor. Don't talk about anything. Don't talk about you. Don't talk about you. Don't talk about you. Stop it. Because Fredo, I'm not saying her name right. I think her name is Cassie or something. Her name is, I think she's Polish, but she speaks phenomenal English. I can't speak. I like when people say, well, you know, I have an accent. You have an accent because you can speak a language I can't. I love accents. I wish I had an accent. Anyway, she breaks this down and you can't believe. Well, you didn't really necessarily have a job before. You didn't have a job because here's Candace talking about, and here's your form where you began the job. I mean, it's like, God, don't say anything. They're ready to pounce on you. Talk about limited government. Talk about what you're supposed to talk about. Don't, because somebody said, do you think that a woman, they're still asking, I think they're setting her up. Do you think it's possible for a woman to be at home without, can she serve her husband? Must she be out? And they're saying, look, don't say anything. Well, I made sure that I had a business and that business was thriving. Stop it. Don't. And they jumped on him, sure enough. No, you didn't. Your business was this and that. Why doesn't she just answer the question and not talk about herself? Please forgive. I don't want to say, I've got to watch my language here on this holy day, but nobody gives a darn about your take in your business and how you did it. Don't go there. When somebody next is going to go real deep on her family and her kids, I mean, don't do it. Just get off the subject. That's why these people are so ridiculous. Who is this guy, Neff? Do you see this one? Who talk? They have this idea that all Charlie did was he walked around and says, by the way, if anything happens to me, I want her to think. What? There's Renee. Thank you, Renee. You're excellent. Renee Bellanet. Thank you. Isn't this amazing? Yeah, Daily, not Freddie, but Cassia, Daily Fredo. They say Fredo. It was you, Fredo. That's 1D. Anyway, she's excellent. Listen, there's a lot of good ones out there, and I'm not going to mention them, but some are great, even though their subject is maybe, look, I don't have any affiliation with a lot of people, but there are some who are just so good. It's Maureen Callahan. Have you seen the nerve when they go after people like John Kennedy Jr.? Oh, my God. Instead of darn, say tarnation. There you go. There you go. It's incredible. This is so good. How can anybody watch? See, I'm in the point. This is so terrible. I don't believe anything. If you tell me that a pilot was recovered, or I don't believe anything. I'm thinking, okay, well, that's what you say. No, it's right there. I hope it's true. I hope it's true. I don't believe anything. Nothing. I don't watch anything on cable. I kind of get an idea for what are they saying? What are they not saying? They don't say anything. This is just bizarre. But this, I am incredibly amazed, not amazed, I should say amazed. People use that word too much. I'm fascinated by. And what I also think is, as I mentioned before, somebody's got to look out for this kid. I hope his parents or somebody says, get him out of that jail. Put him in maximum security. Get him out of there. Get him someplace where nothing, well, put it this way, if anything happens to him, they can say, well, I didn't know that. You're going to get two laughable idiots. You're going to have two people, just sitting around here watching them. Nobody's going to give a damn. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to give any, they're just going to, And they're going to say, well, he was a kind of weird. He was strange. No, he wasn't strange. Well, he was saying some things. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. If something happens to Tyler, nobody's going to say anything because Americans don't say anything. We don't say anything. We don't react. We'll say, oh, there you go. I mean, we don't react. We, not us, but they don't react to anything. Any story, we could be on the verge of nuclear war. Well, whatever. The entire Strait of Hormuz could be wiped out. Gas will be, in California, gas is like $8 plus, and that's not even getting started yet. And I'm not worried just about gas prices. Nobody cares. Right now, there are some of the most serious UFO, UAP stuff that they have ever seen. I mean, this isn't just, oh, look, there's a blip in the sky. I mean, there's some serious stuff. And a lot of folks coming out saying, oh, this is, something's going to give. Nothing. We don't react. We don't react. We like take a perpetual anxiolytic. There she is. There's trouble. Texas Beach Girl says, I am not sure he's safe anywhere. Well, you're right about this, but if he's someplace, let me tell you something. In federal, where people are real serious, the first thing they do is they get him out of there. And they put him someplace, not even a prison. They put him like in a hospital. By the way, if you have a door, and you lock the door, you put the person in there, and you have somebody out there, that's safer than a jail and a prison. And they have cameras, and they give them this paper. This is if they're threatening self-harm. They have this paper that breaks away very easily. And they have these cameras that can detect drops in temperature. So if all of a sudden he's getting sick, and I'm not going to tell you what else they can do, little thermal probes, but if anything happens to him, if he drops significantly, they can tell. I mean, this is because what they do is, it's not so much him. You've heard about this noose on a bun. I've been telling you this forever. From the black art of poison, they give you kind of a binary thing. They give you something on day one, which is fine. Put them in you can test it. Here, drink it. No problem. Drink the water, drink the food. And then later on, you meet this binary, this secondary part of it. And when the two act together, they take on a whole new synergistic substance that is lethal. Has he verbally confessed to anything? We don't believe so. And by the way, whenever they test the person, the tox, the breakdown in the blood is, sodium maybe, potassium maybe, nothing that's not like prussic acid and all these weird things where you have elevated levels of no. How do you know he hasn't confessed? How do you know he hasn't confessed? Anybody? How do you know? I watch YouTube all the time, people getting arrested. And I watch people, a lot of times, they'll do investigations for homicide and the like. And what do? They show the person in prison. They show the person, not in prison, but at the police station. And they're giving it up. And they're signing everything. And they're signing the document. And they write it up and say, here it is. And they can't wait to show you. Have you seen anything about that? Have you seen anything? What have you seen? How do you know? Where are the parents? I don't know if the parents were told don't say anything. But why don't the parents say, look, he didn't say anything. I'm not so sure. I mean, you got to ask yourself, first of all, why are parents turning anybody in? I know this is terrible. I know this is horrible. I'm not turning in a kid of mine. Sorry. Ain't going to do it. Nope. Nope. Because to me, a parent is almost like a priest. It's almost like a... Sorry. I know that's terrible. I know it's terrible. And I can think, and I'm sure there's some kind of... But in this case, knowing him... You hear when people would say things, they said, that's not him. That's not Tyler. He did this all of a sudden. What has been his past? Tell me. Any criminal activity in the past? No. Any arrests? No. Any violence? No. No, he just wakes up one day because he can't take the subject of Charlie, what he said about trans people. That who said that? Maybe that's the story, I guess. Raul says, can a confession in the precinct be retracted? Well, you can retract it. Yeah, you can retract anytime you want. Whether you believe it or not is a different story. Sure you can. You can say, you know what? I changed my mind. I didn't mean that. In fact, a lot of times it happens where people will say, I confess because you put so much pressure on me. What did he say? We haven't seen a police report yet. I don't know anything. Tell me what, I don't know what he said. Tell me what you're going to say. What are you going to say he said? Forget what he did. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor. You tell me. That's the discovery. Tell me. I might plead. I might walk in and say, you know what? Plead open. Straight up. You know, whatever it is. If it's really compelling. So go ahead and tell me. What is it? Who'd you say that to? Let me talk to him. Did you say this? And then you're going to say, what did you do? What did you do? Well, how did you, got to be careful because it's true. How did you do this thing you did? How did you do it? What instrument did you use? Yeah. Well, we may not be able to use that one because it wasn't connected to anything. Listen, my friend. Hey, listen, Tyler, you may have brought it. You may have fired it. But what hit Charlie? That ain't it. Let me say this again. You may have brought it. You may have wanted to do it. You may have shot something. But it's not there. And how do you know? How do I know? You know how you know? You know how I know you missed? If that's what you're saying? Let's say he goes full crazy, full mental and says, no, that's my weapon because I wanted to do it. Okay. And I fired it. Okay. Well, you missed, my friend. Why? Because his head didn't come off. That ain't what you see what that is? I don't know what that is, but that ain't the round you. And is there one missing? Did they have a round eject? See, we don't know anything. We don't know. We always have to go back and guess this stuff because we haven't made unfortunately, nobody hands over the police report and stuff to us. Give us the narrative. But what if I told you didn't do it? You missed. Now, what is it? If that's it, is it conspiracy? Would it be conspiracy? No. Why? Because he's by himself. Who's he conspiring with? Attempted? Okay, maybe attempted. Okay. Problem is, attempted with what? Was there anything? How do you know they even fired that? How do you even know? It's a weird, see, that rifle still remains so, what is it? It's not connected. It's not. So we'll get to that in a moment. But I wanted to get back to the first part. Why doesn't Erica understand that every time she speaks, every single time, they rush to it. They rush, they pull it apart. And the next thing you know, they dissect it with actual demonstrative evidence showing that what she's saying is not true. It's like, why are you talking? Talk about limited government. Would somebody teach her how to talk about Murray Rothbard or somebody, or Mises or somebody. Why is she talking about? Well, this is so interesting when they said, can a woman both serve God and have a business? Yeah. That's not what she says. Well, here we go with you again. Here we go with you. Is everything you? Have you noticed that? Every single thing she says, I'm fascinated. Didn't somebody say, would somebody coach her and say, stop talking about yourself? I don't understand that. Caroline Levitt, she's sitting next to somebody right there who's the press secretary for the president, and she's pregnant again. Talk to her. Ask her, what do you think? She always conspicuously sports her crucifix, or her cross, rather. She's a Christian. What about her? Why? This is a perfect share. She can't do that. I'm not going to share the story. I'm the star. Sorry, Caroline, but no. It's about me. How many of you notice how she's dressing down? You know what I'm saying? It's so obvious. How many of you notice this? She's dressing down. Somebody used the word demure. She's more. Have you noticed that? She still can't do it. She still can't do it. And what nobody will say is that she's stupid. She doesn't understand what's going on. It is absolutely, sequins, gold lame. I mean, I've never seen anything as she might be the most stupid person. And Fredo Cassia brought this up. She says, well, here's these weird drops of Charlie saying, if anything happens to me, make sure she's the CEO. Raul says, a person confesses to pawing Kirk. Is it binding? Well, it's binding. Yeah, you can bring it up. But then again, he can say it was coerced. A lot of people, by the way, have confessed to a lot of things, and they'll say it was coerced. I was forced. I was terrified. I was made to do it. I was threatened. I was whatever it is. But let me just stop for a minute. Let me just stop for a second. This keeps it. It never. You do know if there were no more Erica. Think about this. I can't even believe I'm saying this. Do you know how interest level would drop in this? I'm sorry to say this because I don't think people find courtroom dynamics as interesting, maybe as they should, but it would drop precipitously. People would say, "No, Erica, and forget it. I don't want to keep seeing the old one. I want to see the new one. If she's out of the picture, I'm not going to watch." Doesn't that make sense to you? I'm hoping she doesn't, but it's true. You know it, and I know it. If for some reason she decides, I'm just going to take a sabbatical 6 months, and there was nothing new, do you want to really see the TPUSA people? And by the way, how many of you honestly think this organization can possibly go on doing whatever it's doing, extolling the benefits of limited government? What? How are they going to do this? It's become, once a brand is connected with something bad, it's stuck. Just Happy says, just now, hopping in to say Happy Easter, first live, got you in 1.5 speed to catch up. Not sure my brain will be able to keep you at 1.5 clause. Lionel's vocab is next level super high IQ. Oh, bless your heart. Lionel, love you, Lionel, and your beautiful wife, Lynn. Thank you so much. By the way, Lynn's Warriors, thank you. It's so nice of you to say that. So absolutely nice. I don't want to be epitomistic. That's my new favorite one. I worked that in there. Oh, there's so many great words. In any event, what I'm telling you is that it'd be over with. It'd be. I can't believe how stupid they are. I can't. I know. But nothing else. And I'm saying, maybe there's something else that interests me. Not really. Dominus Vobiscum. Yes, God be with you. And to you as well, my friend. There is something here. Now, but the bottom line is these people should be very, very worried. Listen, you can donate to whatever you want, but my question will be, What is your plan? You have wasted so much. Why is this Neff guy going after Candace and others? Is like, why are you sniping? Why are you involved in this? Why are you doing this? They're stupid too. What is the matter? These are children. These are high school mean girls, children sitting around just yelling at each other, doing things for reasons I do not understand. I swear to God, I don't understand how it is they're doing this. I've never, can you imagine the Heritage Foundation doing this? Or they got some problems. But I don't know who else is there. Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL. I'm trying to think of another organization. They don't do this. Nobody does this. They don't sit around and talk about, they don't snipe it. No. PETA doesn't do that. And PETA, let's face it, they have a focus. This is just about defending themselves. This is the most incredible thing. It's all about, it says, I'm giving you all this money so you can defend yourself. You spend time with Caroline Levitt, Erica, with Caroline Levitt, and all you talked about was yourself and how you had a business and how your business was so clothing that it was so incredibly successful and powerful that you didn't have to worry about it anymore. It kind of ran itself. It ran itself. Are you kidding me? Seriously. What is the matter with these people? What? I keep asking these as though I'm going to get an answer. It just kills me. So anyway, this thing is going to be better. Now this week, Candace is off, so we have to do our best to make sure we get to the bottom of that. But I'm telling you right now, the focus is going to be the criminal case. And I would give anything to sit with those lawyers and say, what do you got? What do you got? Tell me your case. What do you got? Tell me the good stuff. 2 questions, like you've asked. Did he confess? Where's the evidence? Did he confess? And are you going to make a motion to suppress, a motion to eliminate, to keep the rifle out of it? See, that's the part that gets me. Remember, the rifle still has nothing to do with anything. And you know what this guy, what's his name? Neff? This little twit. He said, well, what do you want? There's DNA. There's DNA. How do I say this? There's DNA. How many times have you heard this? There's DNA. There's DNA on there's DNA on there's DNA. This is a lint brush. It's got my DNA on it. If you leave this at the site of a homicide, you can find this lint brush and it has my DNA on it and maybe 6 other people. But the point is, it's not connected to anything. It's a lint brush. It doesn't do anything. A rifle that is found with his DNA on it because it's his has nothing to do with anything because of the fact that, number one, there's no connection. So what are we talking about? So where's the case? I want to ask his lawyers, what is it? Do you have a confession or not? And please, I keep telling you, I know I'm redundant. I'm sorry. Please, dear God, let him testify. Tyler, did you admit to this? No. Did you do it? No. Why were you there? They said you did. Oh, come on. You brought that with you. Brought it. Why would I bring? How am I going to bring? What am I going to do? Stick it down my pants? How do I walk in with this thing? Where did it come from? I don't know. Remember, you had to break it down. You know who did a good one, by the way? I'm going to be on with Jimmy Dore pretty soon. Very, very soon. By the way, I'm also going to be in a Redacted with Natalie Morris to talk about this. I'm talking to anybody who will have me, because it's the case. It's the case of the century. Even OJ, they had evidence of some sort. Maybe it was planted, maybe it was not. This is like nothing. This is like they brought stuff. That's like me saying, hey, we brought an 8-track player. Your 8-track player, we found it at the scene. Why? I don't know, but it's got your DNA on it. So what? How did it get there? How did it get there? Somebody's going to say, what? Do you think what? We went and we found it? Do you think we knew he was going there? That's what I want to know. Who was he talking to? He just on his own, just said, you know what I'm going to do? He didn't tell anybody. What's he really want? I mean, what is he really? There's so much stuff. Tyler, did anybody talk to you? Did anybody from the government or anybody talk to you about anything? Why were you there? What did they tell you? Did you talk to anybody? Are there any confidential informants? Oh, it's a good one. Any CIs? Anybody there? How did this happen? This is the most ridiculous thing in the world. You think you're going to do this and you think you're going to get caught? Seriously, you do? And not only that, he didn't even hit him. Unless it was plastic. Why? His head didn't come off. Remember that. He missed. His head didn't come off. Isn't this something new? I have always found the notion of, how do I say this? I found the notion of personalities phenomenal. I was listening to old Ted Bundy confessions. I'm not making any comparison here, but he was great. He was really good. I don't know why I'm here, man. He would say, "Hi, I'm Ted Bundy." He would introduce himself to psychiatrists. He was great and is guilty and really, really bad. See, you don't know everything he did. I do, and it was bad. Stuff he did was, ooh. I can't even hint at it. But he loved it. He was just so, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why they think I'm here. I don't know. Beats me. He was so terrific. I love the personalities of this. I love to see why people act like this. I love the way they work. I want to know. Wouldn't you love, seriously, this is, to sit back with Erica. What would you ask her? Tell me about yourself. Erica, tell me the hardest part about being Erica. Tell me the biggest misconception. By the way, whenever you say that, she'll tell you what she thinks, not what the biggest misconception. How do people know what the biggest misconception is? She'll tell you. What's your biggest challenge? What is the one thing that you wish people knew about you? What is the cruelest thing you've ever heard? Now think about that. The cruelest thing. You think, what they said about my husband? What they said about my... No, it'd be about her. Count how many times she actually talks about the act itself, which rendered her as a widow. You'll be amazed. Now, remember something. It's very easy for people to say, whenever somebody acts weird, you go, she's in on it. I don't believe that. I don't believe there's any evidence of it. Could be. I don't think she's that cool. I don't think she... Can you imagine this one? Not slipping up? Can you imagine? Who in their right mind, anybody who knows her would have said, yeah, come on, be a part of this. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. No way. You would want her as far away from this as possible. She couldn't hold up. Absolutely not. And also those other twits from TPUSA. No. First of all, what was it? Because I would love to sit there and say, you know what? I'm not suggesting you had anything to do with it. Right. Because because nobody had anything to do with it. I don't know what the hell happened to him. I wouldn't insult you by saying you were a part of something where you apparently used a rifle that he was hit with plastic. What is this? What is this thing? Don't you want to know? Don't you want to know what the medical experts say? Give me the stuff. Let me see. Tell me what you took out. To go to an expert and say, what is this? Tell me, what is it? What is this short? Is it metallic? Is it this? Is it that? How do you like this little... And by the way, I would get my experts. Is it okay to see blood gushing this way? Or I don't know. It probably, because remember, if the blood pressure is going. A little bit one time, a couple of things years ago, I don't want to get too much into this, but remember during the O.J. Simpson case, they always asked the question, why wasn't there more blood in the Bronco? Remember that? But I was saying, why wasn't there more blood in the Bronco? Why was there any blood in the Bronco? Should be no blood. Anyway, and somebody suggested that one of the reasons why he was not as covered with things is the fact is OJ is because that when you were involved in the, when you have immediate you have repeatedly plunged. I gotta be careful. And there's internal bleeding. Blood pressure drops because of the internal bleeding, and when blood pressure drops, this does not turn into that. You know what I mean? So that's why sometimes you don't get that. There are different reasons. You look at the mechanics of the biomechanics. You look at all this stuff. Didn't you think that was a bit? I was like, that's interesting. And somebody said one time. Somebody suggested. I remember the first week, the very, very first week, first couple of days. Somebody somewhere said he saw what appeared to be something behind him. It looked like a flash or something, maybe in a window or something. And he thought maybe I think this was the Marine sniper, somebody who had some proficiency in this. And he said, I saw a flash and I noticed this. He goes, this is an exit wound. But the one photo, the one video that Candace had, nothing in the back, nothing. The only blood you saw was in the hand from the front. I'm going to put my experts to this. I want to have experts. Oh my God. I would love for the prosecution to see an expert with like 300 witnesses. Like, oh my God. And the first person I'm calling, Erika Kirk. What? You can't call it. The hell I can't. Why not? Then you can. I'm telling you, that's a protective orders thing. I'm not going to harass her. I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to ask. You got to come up with a good reason. And then you tell the jury, why would I call her? Why was somebody guilty? Call her. The last person I want to see. She can help me. Why? And don't you want to see that twig, whatever that the girlfriend, boyfriend? I'm going to bring this guy in. And also, did I tell you this? I'm always telling him what my theory is. I want to give you a feel for it. I want to have every twit on there. I want to say, these are the stupidest people I've ever seen. I want to bring in the boyfriend. This is his boyfriend? He's a nut. Not insane, but just this is weird. These are simple people. They're just barely, look at him. He can barely speak. And this guy's a mastermind. Do you know what it takes? Do you know how many people during the last decade have involved themselves in this kind of behavior? Virtually none. Do you know what it's like? There are people who are so absolutely adamant based upon a particular thing that they're feeling, some motivation, some cause. They don't take a rifle and do this. Nobody does this. It's only a few. And this guy, don't you want to know what his record is? Do we know what his record is? Wouldn't it be great? He never had a parking ticket. And all of a sudden he picks this he's coming out of his big debut as some kind of a violent nut. No. This case stinks, ladies and gentlemen. It stinks. Look at him. There he is. There's Son of Sam or the Boston Story. This is public enemy number one. Look at him. Oh, God. And wait until you find the stuff you don't even know about. The stuff that the prosecution is saying, I hope to God. And it better come out as exculpatory. Remember the case Brady against Maryland. If you've got anything that I might use as exculpatory, inculpatory, guilty, exculpatory, not guilty. Exculpatory evidence is that which will help me. But if you come across it, now I don't have to come across, let you know what I find out. It's only you. You have an affirmative duty. You're the prosecution. Can you? Oh my! Because you never know. I knew a guy, Jerry Boyle, who represented Jeffrey Dahmer. And the Jeffrey Dahmer case is the stuff that never, and by the way, it's not bad, just weird. How weird this guy was. Not scary weird. I mean, he was scary, but just stuff that you just never would hear about. It's not relevant, but it's like, this is the most bizarre, the behind this, the case things. It's so interesting. And little things that come up. Little things. And you don't even know it until somebody, for example, never forget this. During the O.J. Simpson case, when he was in Chicago, and they called him up and said, Mr. Simpson, yes, I've got bad news. Your ex-wife is, and he said, oh, that's terrible. I'll be right back. I'm leaving right now. Come on. He never asked which one. He has two. It was his first wife and then Nicole Brown Simpson. Isn't that odd? I think so. You got to be very careful. You can never say things like, well, what did he say? He said, I want to see a lawyer. Oh, no, that's a mistrial. Don't say that. Or what did he say? He didn't say anything. That's not good. That's not good. Now you're commenting on his right to remain silent. That's not good. But the stuff that people say, the little oops. How did he look the first time? You interrogated him, right? Yeah. How did he look? Tell me how he looked the first time you showed him pictures of the event, the crime. Did you show him? No, because normally that's very important. Show somebody for the first time some really good ones to say. They'll know their handiwork. Somebody who's done it, who's seen it, they'll say, yep, that's it. But somebody who's never seen this before will freak out. They're not going to tell you that. We don't know who's, believe me, it's the court case. And please let it be televised. Please. I beg you. Please. If he's there. I don't want to keep saying this, but I can see it now. Breaking news. Utah County, whatever this county. Tyler Robinson was found in his cell, unresponsive. Preliminary indications show self-dispatch. He was 22 years old. That's it. Wrap it up, boy. We'll never find out anything else. It's all over. Angle. Who was it? What was in Charlie? Let bygones be up. Haven't you suffered enough? And then we do that one. Hasn't this family suffered enough? Yeah, but I want to find out. It's moot. What do you want to find out for? It's over with. Yeah, but I want to find. No. Yeah, but I want to. Well, who did it? Well, he did it. No, he didn't. We didn't resolve that. We never disposed of that. We never had an adjudication of the facts. We never had anything. Who did it? Well, we'll never know. And then it goes away. And that's when you and I say, oh, you see what I'm saying? Do you see why important this is? Do you see why critical it is that he be immediately taken away, set aside, and watched? Now, do you trust who? The feds? I don't know. I have no idea. Do you think that Kash Patel and others are going to be? I swear to you, this group, I've never seen anything like it. And I don't know where we're going with that one. I don't want to go into the politics of that, but they say that Kash is not. They say that the Secretary of the Commerce and Labor are looking. One of them had all kinds of wild parties, supposedly. Anyway, so that's another story. We have too many things going on. You understand that we live in a world right now with a bunch of people who, for whatever reason, are not able to handle a lot of different cases, a lot of different things at the same time. They can't do it. They can't handle more than one fact at the same time. They can't. They just can't. So consequently, it's going to be difficult for them to, follow through with it. And who's going to do it? Nobody's going to. It's over with. It's done. And I can only think of some people, if that happened, can you imagine how happy Erica would be? Like, thank God. I don't have to put up with it. Thank God. Well, he took the secrets to his grave. Or the TPUSA kids high-fiving, thinking that's it. It won't go any further. It won't. That's why I beg, I plead, please, somebody. Remember that feller that they got, that Jeff guy? They didn't even have to do that. They didn't even have to do it. They wanted to do it. They wanted to do it in front of everybody. They didn't have to do that. He could have been just removed, so to speak, disappeared in um, the Champs-Elysees. He could have been in Paris. He could have been someplace else. He could have been he could have had a little boating accident in his island, or at Camp Zorro, or could have just happened. Could have just something so simple. He could have just gone away, and nobody would have known anything. The newspapers would have said, American financier was, okay. He was linked to, oh, is that right? Oh, interesting. And that's it. He would have had no, how do I say this? He would have had no, what am I trying to say? Nobody would have known anything. It would have been just opened up. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They wanted to show you. They wanted to say, oh, no, we want you to see this. We would do it now. And they want to do it now, especially after they have this big hulking dude who was this ex-cop who was on death row, who got a hell of a deal all of a sudden, and they had problems before. I mean, it just, you see, these people love right in front of you. From JFK to, they just right in front of you. And they will bury you in paper. They will have commissions, and I mean, they'll just do whatever. They just sit there and know, absolutely. And they're laughing at you. They're saying, you can't stop us. Bobby Kennedy. The number of bullets that were fired was more than Sirhan versus Sirhan, depending on how you pronounce it. They had more bullets fired. They found bullets underneath shelves. The actual shot that got Bobby Kennedy was right here. They had powder stippling, close contact. Sirhan was across the room. Thane Eugene Caesar was right there. He had the same gun too. I mean, it's just, they do it right in front of you. I was there for 9/11. And they still look at you like, what are you talking about? Building 7, hit by nothing. These are who these people are. And when I say these people, I mean, they're not all connected, but let's just call them, let's give them a name, I don't know, the shadow government or the whatever. They do things, and it doesn't matter. They will do things in front of you. And they'll say, well, what are you looking at? Well, what's this? I don't know. What happened? Well, that's from the debris. The debris of the other building hit us. What? Oh, yeah. What is this made of? Like cards? Balsa wood? These things are the wind that they can take. What are you talking about? Oh, well. They love doing this to you. They look right at you and they say, I don't know. And you'll say, but we have experts who, I'm sure you do. But you're a conspiracy theorist, aren't you? Let this case go. It's NIST already. I mean, I've been through this a million times, and it's just, and we just say, well, we're going to keep going. The only problem, though, with this case, if something, once his case is disposed of, either prematurely or not, we're not going to be able to point to any other reason. We're just going to have to pretend that we know the facts of the case, because this we don't know yet. Remember, there may not be a confession that's admitted, or the confession that was in was too tenuous, and there's no weapon. So I don't know what we're going to even talk about. This is the only case where somebody is going to fight for his life on no evidence. There's not. I mean, because, well, we know better because you were there. Because you were there, by gum. This is the most important thing in the world. And and you know what? We have been told that we would get the proof about JFK. They never mentioned 9/11, about UFOs. We promise you, that other feller, the files. They know we're not going to do anything. We can be so misled. Remember all those big influencers who were handed those binders by that crazy thing by Pam Bondi? Remember all those folks? And they're nowhere to be found. Well, they're there, but they immediately were either bought off or they just shut up or whatever it was. Remember that? Remember that? The binders? Nobody followed up and says, what is the binders? May I see that? May I see can I see that? No. They gave you the binders, would you? No. These are all these big shots, these big influencers. It's unbelievable. So, my friends, let us just say this, that on this Easter, I will thank you again for your countenance, for your respect, for your faith, for everything. You have been so incredibly, you have been so great. I mean that. You have been so terrific, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you also for how kind you've been to my wife, Mrs. L, by subscribing to Lynn's Warriors. Later on, I'll tell you some things we're going to be doing to promote her as well, but you have been just superb. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your super chats and the like. Just thank you for everything. It's a very, very important day. Please like the video. Liking is very, very critical for us. Make sure you also do us a favor and make sure that you hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And also make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe. The number of people, interestingly enough, that don't subscribe amazes us. Because those numbers, those metrics help us and put us in the HOV lane. And it also shows the rest of the world that we're pretty good. We're kind. I think we get along beautifully. This is never pugnacious or rebarbative or mean. I don't like that. It's always just wonderful. We're the best of people, but we're indefatigable. We are intransigent. We are inexorable. We don't give up. Look at this. Oh my God. Jojo gifts 20 Lionel Nation memberships. Thank you, Jojo. How kind. Thank you. So anyway, thank you so much, my friends. Have a great and glorious day. For your kindness is so terrific. I mean that sincerely. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Remember what the day is. That's all. Remember. Everybody else wants you to remember what their day is about, which is great. So I think it's only fair to return the favor. Call me wacky. All right, dear friends. Have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much. Happy Easter, all of you. And until tomorrow, don't forget the monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue you. Da-da.